Welcome back. Let's discuss random module. We import the module, import random, and we start our methods. So we have random.random, random, dot the method random, and have our empty brackets here. It returns a random float between 0 and 1. So let's have our print here to see the output and close our parentheses in the end and have our run. A random number between 0 and 1. We can have a copy of this now. So we have our method rand integer to choose an integer between say 2 and 10. And let's have our run. It chose 2. Let's have another run. It chooses randomly. This time it chose 4. Instead of randint, if we use uniform, let's have our uniform here. The method uniform returns a random float between the two embedded numbers here, 2 and 10. If we have another run, we can notice that the number changes. Let's have a list of fruits. And let's start our methods on a list. So we have random, dot the method choice, between brackets, let's have our fruits. And let's print the output. So add a print in the very beginning here with our parentheses. And let's have our run now. It shows apple. On another run, it shows apple also. On another run, it shows banana. And so on. It chooses just randomly. We can even let the program choose more than one fruit. So let's have here, instead of choices, plural, and have a comma here, k equals 2 for choosing 2 fruits. Yes, it chose grapes and grapes. Let's have these grapes. On another run, grapes and oranges, and so on. Please note that choices can repeat its choice. So let's have another run here. Fig, banana, grapes, oranges, fig and fig. It repeated fig twice in the same run. We can even have, instead of these fruits, the list itself. So have a copy here, and instead of fruits, have our list. Let's have those now to be comments and run our program. Banana and apple. On a rerun, it gives fig and grapes and so on. We can even assign the random dot method to a variable. So let's have here, instead of this print, say answer equals random.choices, and therefore just delete this, and let's print between quotations answer, comma, answer. And let's have our run. Yes, we can assign random dot method to a variable. So let's have these to be comments. And let's activate this and have, instead of choice, sample. Using sample, we must determine the number of choices to the program. So if we need one choice, just have it as such, and it chose apple. On another run, it will choose something else. Let's have here 2 or 3. And let's have several runs here. We notice that no choice is repeated. The 3 choices are different. On several runs, the choices are different. This is the main difference between sample and choice. Sample doesn't repeat the chosen elements, while choices repeat the chosen elements, may repeat the chosen elements. We can even have, instead of fruits here, our list. And let's have a run now. The same thing goes. We can even apply sample on a list of numbers. So if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 50, 60, and so on, and have our run here, it chooses 3 numbers from the list. We can even choose 4 and make sure using sample doesn't repeat any choice here. Let's now apply the shuffle method. So we will apply 2 lists, 1 integers and 1 fruits. Let's apply now our shuffle method. So we have random, our module, dot shuffle, and apply the list 1. And let's have here print our list 1 after being shuffled. And have our run. Yes, it is shuffled here. The numbers are shuffled. Okay, we can even shuffle list 2. And have our run here. Yes, the order is changed randomly here. Let's try using seed. Seeding the random number generator means setting a starting point for random sequence. Let's try random.seed here. Random.seed. Let's have here, say 30. Let's cancel these for now. And let's have our run. Those are the 3 numbers. Random.random, which chooses a random float between 0 and 1, gives 0.053 to the end of the number. Random.integer, randint, which gives a random integer between those 2 numbers, gives 6. And random.uniform returns a random float between those 2 numbers, 2 and 10. It shows 6.8. Let's have another run now to see what happens. The same 3 outputs are given. Let's have another run. The output doesn't change, which means that seeding here prevents changing the output. We can even use range with sample. So let's cancel our seed for now. And let's have random, the module random, dot sample, between our brackets, range, and simply choose our range, say from 1 to 10. And let's have here 4 choices. To get the output, let's have our print here, or simply assign it to a variable and print the variable. Let's have our run. The 4 chosen numbers between 1 and 10 are 4, 2, 9, 7. They are changed now, which means that a sample method can accept a list created through range. This concludes with our random module.